Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. Got a Wish package in the mail here, and I actually know what this is because of the size, and it's another free package because it's a month late. So there you go. So I ordered this. This is for yeah, this is for aquaponics. So this is definitely right out of China. But it's basically just a little pump that I can move water with out of my aquaponics tank that Mike donated to me from 1 Acre Homestead there. So yeah, so it didn't cost me anything, and you could also use this as a transfer pump or whatever. But yeah, I'll be taking that over the trailer sometime, and it'll go with the aquaponics setup. Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. I'll give you the day and the time and all that fun stuff. Just gotta tap on my phone here a little bit. October the 2nd, and it's 20 after 12, and it is 64 Fahrenheit inside the tiny house at 71% humidity, and it is 70.7 Fahrenheit outside at 85% humidity. It's been raining most of the last 3 days, so I haven't been over here much, which really sucks. 17.8 Celsius inside, 21.5 Celsius outside. Today, guys, yet again working on the wood stove. And what I've been doing to get the fresh air pipe down here, I'm just grabbing, salvaging stuff that I've saved over the whole build of this tiny house project, and I'm using the rest of my 2-inch pipe material, ABS pipe for plumbing. So I'm not going to glue anything together because it's just a fresh air operation here. And basically I'm just taking this is a 90 degree with a, I don't know what they call these ends here, but it doesn't really matter because I needed a 90 degree, didn't have one, so but I did have a coupling 2-inch left over. So now I made it a 90 degree, so I can plug stuff into here, plug stuff into here. Okay, so basically all I'm going to be doing is, this is just going to sit up here. Just, it holds by itself, as you can see, and it will definitely hold by itself once I get the pipe through the wall. And I marked a 15-inch piece of 2-inch ABS that I had left over in the storage room. And I'm going to cut that with my little hacksaw here out of my tool bag back there. And I'm going to, then once that's done, I will grab a pencil, mark the wall, and I need to get a hole saw bit to cut a hole through the wall and through the trailer. So, and where this is positioned, there's no stud in behind here, so that's a good thing. And it should just run outside, and I'll screen it. I'll put some of that mesh screening on because it's just a fresh air intake for combustion for the stove. And that way the stove has plenty of air. And there's also other spots around the tiny house that leak in some fresh air, so it's not a totally tight tiny house, but it's close. My door has a little leakage there, but you know, you don't want to have your house too tight, guys, put it that way. So it's kind of a dreary day. I can't even talk. It is. I have the LED lights on, and I'm down to 12.9 volts in complete overcast, and it looks like it's going to dump more rain outside. I can show you some of that actually. Pretty freaking nasty looking outside. There's Hula Girl dancing away. So the goal is just to get this stuff all prepped and ready until I get my bit for the hole saw bit, so I can cut a hole through the wall to feed the pipe through. And then I'll also have to silicone the outside of the pipe, so not letting water in, moisture or snow or whatever in. And I don't want it sticking out too much, so I may cut it down after the fact. But there you go. So yeah, it's just going to be a press fit for the fresh air, and that will feed the fire, and then that job will be complete for that guy, and it helps use up some more junk around the tiny house. One thing I'm learning very quickly about tiny houses, guys, you got to be a minimalist. You got to only have here what you need. It's not too bad prepping wise, because I have a bug out bag here. I got some other stuff in the back storage room. That's not really a burden, but I have all these spare parts, spare lumber that I save, and it builds up and I lose space in the tiny house after a while. So that's one thing I gotta get good at, is trying to downsize a little bit. Though, if I had my own property, that wouldn't be a problem, because I'd build like a small little shed and just throw all the knickknacks in there. And then when the time comes for me to build something or fix something, then I just go there. But yeah, we're getting there slowly, guys. I left some lumber in here, and oh, that's the other thing I wanted to do. Let me grab the camera, because you guys will probably need to see this. So I'm thinking about building, with my leftover building materials, a cabinet per se to go in between the elliptical and to the bottom of the fresh air intake for the wood stove. And what this cabinet's going to be doing is wood storage. Pieces like this small. I'm going to just build up a nice big collection in there, and I want to make it out of metal so it's not flammable. And I have that flashing that I left over from that roof disaster we had here at the tiny house. I can use that aluminum flashing to sheet the shell of it, or make the shell. And to build the skeleton, I'm thinking of either using that angle iron or just use lumber. I may just use lumber, because what the hell, I have it, and it's easier than angle iron to build a skeleton. So I might use my leftover lumber, build a little stand here in between the elliptical and my laundry sink, and then the top surface will be nice, because then I could put stuff like my gloves up there, for all my tools for working on the fireplace, basically. And then if stuff comes out of the fireplace, though, there is a drawer here to catch stuff, and then after that it actually would fall past this bottom shelf. So it'd be nice to have a shelf up here, or yeah, a shelf and a cabinet, and then I can dry store wood in there. That'll be my wood storage, and then possibly pellets too, but I think more put pallet wood in there. And then I think that'd be nice, because it fills in this gap that's kind of weird. I'll have to make it look pretty decent. And then my elliptical, let me lift this pipe out of the way. So when I use the elliptical, the mechanism, the arms, do not move past the edge of the front of the machine here, just to let you know that. So had to jump on there a little bit, so just to get that going. But that's the plan anyway. So I'll have to do that as another project, and then since I'll have a door, the whole thing will be sheeted in aluminum, guys. So if embers or something fell down in there, it's not going to catch, because it'll be a sealed cabinet. I'll have to open the door up to get wood out every time, so that way if stuff does fall, it's not going to get in there. So I'll have to figure out design on that. And other than that, hopefully we can get things moving. Yeah, I was looking through one of my totes and to get my leftover parts and plumbing fittings that I have in here, and these are all 1.5 inches. So I had just the 2-inch coupling and then that other 2-inch piece, and to help support the table while taking that tote out, I replaced it with one of my scrap 2x4s so everything wouldn't collapse and the whole table would just slide off. And then I had to get my saw out of the toolbox here. But as you can see, stuff is still in the way. I would love to sell these solar panels, but no takers yet, which is sad. And then that would clear up a ton more room in here for me. And then we'll see what happens here. But yeah, no bites on the solar panels. That's just the way it is. People are cheap, or people don't even know the advantage of having solar. I don't see too many people doing it or understanding it, and that's pretty sad, because this stuff's pretty awesome. So worst comes to worst, they'll be going up on the roof. But not in the way that I had originally with the aluminum brackets, even though that worked awesome, and I highly recommend it if you want to do that. That's the way to go. But in my case, I'm kind of screwed on the height issues, and even just laying the solar panels up there flat with some brackets, L brackets, it's cutting it too close for my height limitations. So it's one of those things, yeah. Now, for the outside, for this wood stove, guys, if I have to move the tiny house, this is all I have to do. Make sure the stove is off, obviously. Pull the T off, which is attached to everything else, and the brackets. Throw them inside the tiny house. Off we go. We're ready to hit the road with the tiny house. No big deal. And the same could be said for the propane tanks on the back, because I believe I'd have to remove those as well. But I just throw them in the back of a truck, done. Because they're only chained on, so that's the way it is. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna start working on this. Turn my radio back on. Was listening to the old Rush Limbaugh about how crazy the States is and everything, and enjoying that. And that's my entertainment over here until I get that TV aerial hooked up and decided on what I'm gonna do. That's my entertainment. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work, and we'll see you guys in a bit.